Mother Goose Knits, my podcast where I talk about knitting. Sometimes I'll talk about spinning, quilting, sewing garments, and other things, but it's mostly knitting. I'm a mom of 3 in Buffalo, New York, and welcome to the podcast. So I wanted to talk about first a little knitting related life update. I finally went out into the local knitting community. I'm very awkward. I don't have a lot of days off where I can actually do things by myself. So I didn't realize that they had this. I knew there was a knitting guild, but there's a little mobile yarn shop called Knit Buffalo, and she drives around to different locations, obviously, and has pop-up shops. And she holds like a monthly witch and stitch at this metaphysical shop called Rising Goddess. And I guess that's once a month, and it's on a Sunday, which is a good day for me. So I went out last Sunday to check it out, and I was very, very nervous. There was like a big group of people knitting, and there was no chairs left, so I didn't stay. Some people brought their own chairs, so I'll know that for next time to bring a chair. I was really nervous anyway. I checked out the little van. They didn't have any plant-based yarn that I could use that wasn't wool, and I got some stitch markers and some little goodies. Actually, I'll show those first. So first, for the stitch markers, actually, here's the little tag. It's called Just the Tips. I got 2 of these, and here's one. They're on my projects right now. These, ooh. So these are little knitting needle toppers, and I got everything Halloween themed, so I got those. A little ghost with the witch hat, and I also got here we go. These are little skeletons. And then I got these stitch markers. Now everything in the van, everything at the Knit Buffalo, these are little ghosts. Can you see their faces? Ooh, 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 ooh. There we go. Yeah. It's like a bunch of little ghost stitch markers. They're super cute. And, oh, and I also got, where is it? A little measuring thing. It comes on this. I actually have my scissors attached to it, like that. Ooh, the focus is crazy on this. So I got those little things. And everything in the van was locally dyed by Buffalo yarn dyers, which was interesting. They had a lot of cute things, a lot of cute little colorways and stuff, but unfortunately I couldn't buy any of the yarn. But she did give me a place in kind of a nearby shop. It's about 30 minutes away, that sells like linen and cotton in cones. So I might go check that out. All right, so for my one finished object, I finished up the Fisherman's Raglan. Here it is. Now it is way too hot for me to wear this. I don't know why I'm still working on winter and fall knits. Bless you. Ooh, bless you. I'm still working on winter and fall knits, even though it is Memorial Day was yesterday, so it's now hot. I'm wearing my ranunculus. But I only have this short sleeve sweater and then that one tank top I knit which I'm not too crazy about, so this is my one spring summer knit. I wore this the other day when it was a little bit chilly, but now it's way too hot. But it's got this braid on the front. I did a tubular cast on and tubular bind off for the 2x2 rib, and that was new, but I think it looks really nice on this sweater. And the little braids were really easy to do and fun to do. And this was knit up in Yarn Bee's Rustic Romantic, which is a acrylic hemp blend. So it has a really nice texture. Oh. And I really enjoy this. I'm really happy I did this. It knit up really quickly. I think I finished it in 21 days, which is fast for me for a long sleeve sweater. But yeah, here's the Fisherman's Raglan. It was a bottom-up sweater. Basically, almost everything I've been doing lately has been a bottom-up sweater. And I kind of like bottom-up patterns because you get the big body part done first, and then it seems to go by a little bit faster after that. A lot of times you'll start at the top and it seems to go really fast until you get to here, and then it starts to slow down because you have so many rows to do. And then the body just seems to take forever. Like anytime I'm knitting a top down, I feel like I'm never gonna get through it once I get to the body. So doing the body first is kind of nice. I don't like the way you have to split for sleeves though, because you don't really split it. You kind of have to cast on and then you have to graft the underarms, which is a little annoying. But overall, I like the bottom-up sweaters. Speaking of bottom-up sweaters, I am still working on the Traveler hoodie by Andrea Mowry. Oh, I'm halfway through a row. I'm halfway through a row, so I can't hold it up flat. But I've got a decent way through. I'm working on the front yoke. Here's the armhole. I have a few more ribs to do. It's in a sport weight yarn, so for me that's small. I really haven't actually knit anything with fingering weight except for socks. I have a current whip with fingering weight, but sport weight, it feels like it takes forever. So I'm just taking it nice and easy with that one. That is being knit in Soft and Sleek, or Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek DK in the color Oxblood, which it's kind of an in-between red and purple. So it's like a nice plum color. I feel like that one's gonna take extra long because I know that once I get through the body, I have the arms and then I also have the hood. And I know the hood is gonna be pretty big. It's gonna be bigger than I expect it to be, I think. So I'm trying not to get too excited about finishing it quickly. So I've been working on side projects. This was a side project. The Fisherman's Raglan was a side project. And now that I'm done with the Fisherman's Raglan, I cast on for the Weekender. So when I bought the Traveler hoodie, I also picked up another pattern from Andrea Mowry, and it's the Weekender. Oh, and everything is twisted around. This one doesn't have knit things. Okay, so this one is also bottom up. It's knit inside out. So actually this part is gonna be the center seam detail on the back and the front is a knit stitch, and the entire body is a purl stitch, or reverse stockinette. And I'm knitting this in Barocco Remix. After my little excursion to the Witch and Stitch. I want to say Bitch and Stitch, but it's, or Stitch and Bitch, but it's Witch and Stitch. Because it's like a witchy store. Anyway, so after I showed up to the pop-up shop, the Knit Buffalo pop-up shop, I decided I really wanted to go to the local yarn store. I have 2 local yarn stores. Their hours are weird. They're only open a few hours on certain weekdays, so I never get a chance to go unless I bring everybody. But the baby is 7 months old now, so I feel a little more confident bringing him places. All right, I had to relocate. There are construction vehicles right in front of my house now, so, but that's okay because there was something in here I wanted to show you guys anyway. Anyway, I left off at the yarn shop. So I took the baby and my 3-year-old out, and it was a place called, there's 2 local yarn shops actually. One is Have You Any Wool, and the second one is Ravello Fibers, which I haven't gone to. But I did go pick up, the yarn I'm using for the Weekender is Barocco Remix. Ooh. This is 100% recycled. It is 30% nylon, 27% cotton, 24% acrylic, 10% silk, and 9% linen. 100% recycled, so it's vegan-ish because it's recycled silk. And I really love the colors. So for the Weekender, I wanted it to be, I didn't want it to be like a variegated colorway, and I didn't want it to be, I don't know, would you call this a tweed? It looks kind of tweedy, but it's more tweedy than a tweed normally is. I don't know, maybe it's a tweed, whatever. I think the one in the photo for the Weekender is a marled yarn, like a gray and white or something like that. So I was looking at marled colors. It was kind of hard to find some marled colors that were vegan, that were also not just 100% acrylic, that feels like, I don't mind 100% acrylic as long as it's a nice feeling one. You know what I mean with the cheaper ones. It's kind of itchy and like sweaty. And so it was kind of difficult to find a marled color. And I could hold 2 yarns together. I just really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. But I found this remix, and they have it in a bulky, a worsted weight, and a fine. And the store had the bulky and the worsted weight. So I might have to buy the fine another time and try it out. They had so many nice colors. I was gonna do a cream color, and then I saw there was like a pink and then a purple and then this cameo pink, which is sort of right in the middle of a pinky purple. I'm on a purple kick lately. Almost every whip I have now is, every whip I have right now is like a plum or a purple or a pinkish. So, hey, what are you looking at? What is it? All right, my last whip is camisole number 4. Oh dear, I can't remember. I think it's camisole number 4. I bought camisole number 5 as well. So I think I own 4, 5, and 6. But I started, it's this broken rib tank top. Here, let me see. It's messy. Okay, I'll just hold it like this. This is upside down. So here's one, the front left side. And this is knit in a non-vegan yarn. Here it is. This is being knit in a fingering weight from my old stash. So it's, I don't know how to pronounce this. Let's see. Ooh. I don't know how to even begin to pronounce that. But this is 70% superwash wool, 15% silk, 15% bamboo. And this is in the color 2020. That's all I have for whips. I was thinking about casting on a halibut hat by Caitlin Hunter for Father's Day as like a Father's Day gift for my dad. I had knit the halibut sweater and I love the halibut sweater. The chart isn't very fun to knit. The fish is just, you can't memorize the stitch pattern at all. So it's kind of tedious, but I think I might try to just do a hat and see how that turns out. I almost want to knit another halibut, but I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. I already have too many projects going. I also bought the pattern for Halloo. I think it's pronounced Halloo. It's another Caitlin Hunter pattern. And if you remember when she came out with the Easy V sweater, it was sort of this pink sweater with zigzags. And she came out shortly after with basically the same pattern. It was just a lace work. And I decided I wanted to use my Feels Like Alpaca by Lion Brand yarn with that. I have the color Rust, and that looks kind of similar to the sample that was in the pattern. So I'm excited to try that out. That's a DK weight pattern. So is the halibut. But I'm not gonna cast, I'm gonna cast on the hat soon because Father's Day is coming up, but I'm not gonna do the Halloo sweater yet until I finish at least one of the, I have to finish the Weekender at least. Then I can cast on another one. I have too many ideas, that's the thing. I have too many things I wanna knit. And as if that's not enough, I also brought out my spinning wheel. If you can see here, let me move this. Okay, so my spinning wheel is here. It was trapped in my sewing room or my studio. It was trapped in my studio for several months because we were redoing the basement. So I brought it out and I've practiced. I had to do it's from the 80s. I think this is a spinning wheel from the 80s. And I bought it at an antique shop, and the woman who owned the antique shop was telling me about the lady who owned it before me. And she said that she bought it at a fair, okay, I want to say 25 years ago, but then I also said it was the 80s. The 80s feel like 20 years ago, but I'm 37, so that doesn't make any sense. Why does the 80s feel like 20 or 30 years ago? Anyway, at least 25 years ago. It's vintage, I suppose it counts as vintage. I had to do a little tweaking with it. Hi. I had to do a little tweaking because the maiden bearings were really old. They're leather maiden bearings and they're really, really old. So they just weren't gonna work anymore. So I found a old leather belt at a thrift shop and I cut out new maiden bearings and it works fine. I was afraid it was gonna be not fantastic. But it spins well. I just have to get used to it. And as you can see here, I have attempted some spinning This is the first attempt. Well, actually, that's a lie. This is probably the second attempt. But I'm getting somewhere with this second attempt. The only thing about the spinning wheel that's not great is that the bobbin is attached to the whorl, the smaller whorl. So in order to, I would have to like take all of this off and put it on a different bobbin before I could spin more, because you need this bobbin for here. So I know the newer ones or the better made ones have a whorl that's separate, and then they give you multiple bobbins, but I figured I got a good price for this, and I'm just learning. So maybe if I become an expert spinner on this one, I can treat myself to a new spinning wheel. But it's a little kind of old. See, there's some glue spots. And there's a few chips. I was spinning yesterday and the drive band came off and flew around. It got all twisted up in the fiber. So I have to cut a new drive band. So that'll be fun. But the spinning wheel is out. I'm practicing, and it is, I think I'm gonna be obsessed with spinning once I actually get good at it. It's kind of meditative and fun. So this is actually, I bought this from the Woolery, and it's just faux cashmere. It's literally just nylon. This is a flax wheel, so I do want to learn how to spin flax on it. I think that would be fun. Actually, it comes with a distaff too. I'm gonna find it. I attached the distaff. There. So this is the distaff. That's supposed to be for flax. I don't really need to use it if I'm just spinning other fibers. You can spin wool on this. It doesn't have to be flax if you use a flax wheel. But it comes with a pretty little distaff, so I wanted to show you that. That is my spinning wheel. It's my first attempt at spinning yarn. I think I'm gonna be obsessed with it. I was already looking up, I had wool carders. Do you know? I had wool carders. I found them at a flea market for $2. They're like high quality wool carders too. And I kept them for a while, but I only was ever able to have a drop spindle, and I do not like the drop spindle. I am not gonna use a drop spindle ever. I think it's annoying. So I ended up selling the drop spindle, and I sold the wool carders and my roving that I did used to have. So that's kind of sad, because now I have an actual spinning wheel and I could have used those, but that is okay. I was looking at drum carders and all kinds of stuff, but I'm just gonna take it easy and learn how to spin first on this, and then I'll see about doing fun little fiber combinations. I want to try bamboo fiber. I want to try flax. I want to try some nettle fiber too, maybe banana fiber. There's all kinds of stuff out there. There are no spinning guilds in this area that I've seen so far. I should probably search a little bit on Facebook. But it would be nice to go to, a festival or an event or something where I can see people doing it and compare how I'm doing it to how they're doing it. Actually, the Rhinebeck Sheep and Wool Festival is coming up in fall. You all know that. You all know that. I went to that festival once as a kid because I grew up in the Hudson Valley. And I might one day go maybe visit my brother and then check out the festival, because I know they do have some slaughter-free farms that produce wool, and they also have just plant fiber yarn there as well. It's not all sheep and alpaca. But this year, the Rhinebeck Sheep and Wool Festival is over my son's birthday, so I won't be going, but maybe one day I will. Okay, well, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna see how bad the noise is. I might have to refilm this. But thank you for watching if you made it this far. My podcasts are always chaotic and then I forget what I was gonna say. I should probably take notes next time. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.